Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one rated sportsbook app out there. I am your host, Rudo, joined by AJ Hafley, and Blaze Hunter is back.
I'm back.
The Avs are, I guess they never left, but this beatdown was on a whole different level because the fans are back, I suppose. There we go. We got there in the end. Avs defeat Arizona 9-3 in what was less of a hockey game and more of, boy, I don't even know what to call this. What was this? Arizona's soul left their body, I think, in this hockey game. So
this was a combination of all three sports that get played at Ball Arena on a regular basis. Because you had the Avs dunking on Arizona physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all of the ways, okay? And then you also had the Avs playing hockey. And then they put up a lacrosse-esque score.
Yeah, that's true.
Against Arizona by dropping a 9 spot on them. So it was really just them paying homage to not only their fans, but all of the fans that come to Ball Arena.
Got them all the way around, representing. All right. I mean, let's just start with the first period, right? The Avs score 5 goals in the period. There are 6 goals scored, if you include Arizona's, in a 3-minute and 27-second span. And 3 of them come from Joonas Donskoi. So, yeah, not bad. I mean, no one even knew what was happening. I feel like the first goal went in, you're like, all right, the Avs get the immediate second one. Okay, things are going well. Arizona immediately scores, and you're starting to think, what is going on? And then the Avs rattle off 3 more goals, and it's just pandemonium at that point. What?
Yeah, it's just it was like a breakdown, but the Avs are just smothering them, and then Donskoi getting the 3 was awesome, right? And
yep.
The game was basically, it felt like it was going to be over, but then Arizona starts kind of coming back in the second period there a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, was it really ever close? Like, Arizona makes it 5-3 in the second period, and yeah, for 20 whole seconds, it was like, maybe this is a game, and then Landy was just like, nah, we're done.
Yeah,
go away.
Landy just broke that up, right? Like, that kills the vibe, because, you know, Arizona's sitting over there, they're thinking, like, we're back in this, we're 2 goals down now, we've got a lot of time left, we could get back in this, we can claw our way back in. And then Landy just walks down there and just absolutely shatters any type of dream of them coming back. It kills all the momentum. You could have just wrapped it up after that goal.
Yeah. Given the way the third period went, Arizona maybe wished they didn't play it. But yeah, not crazy. Yeah, there you go. Let's get to our proper king of the game here. You might think it's Donskoi, but no. The true kings of this hockey game are definitely the Avalanche ice crew. They knew this game was over as much as anybody and wanted to get the hell out of the arena. So they booked it in fixing that curved glass.
Did you see them afterwards when they were showing them? They're just like,
yeah, exhausted over on the side. Elite work from the ice crew there.
The guy that like went on like a dead sprint
down
the ice and then like runs through the door and then was like, he's like, I'm so tired, and I'm just like, dude, the whole world just watched you make a dead sprint on ice. Like, remember this moment the next time that one of these guys gets on a breakaway and toe picks or something and just eats it. Because they are using things on their feet designed for them to be on ice, and you, sir, are not. And you just went beelining down the ice It was very impressive.
Did this dude just pay $10 to make himself do a shot?
Yup. That's the vibes we got tonight. That's 100% what it is.
Alrighty.
Those are Canadian dollars. So
that's only
$10.
like $5, really. Yeah.
But still awesome.
Enjoy the drink.
If you want to feel like what the crew felt like, go grab like a kitchen table, and then if you have stairs in your house, run up them as fast as you possibly can, and then put that chair down and see how you feel.
I love how it was chaos all the way around too. Like dudes were dropping their walkie-talkies, guys were picking them up, people were running every direction as they're like trying to do it. Excellent work.
Well, Ali brought up a good point too. Is like the last time they changed the glass, it took like 3.5 periods of playtime to get it done.
Well, that was in the Honda Center. Yeah.
No, so same pane. It was the same pane that broke last time.
Yeah, I mean that one took like not that long last time.
I mean, it was a solid like 10-ish minutes, which is totally fine. Like it was nothing like the one in Honda Center where Eric Jelena had his one memorable Avs moment in missing the net with that killer slap shot of his. That was the one that took an hour.
Yeah.
That was the one. It was tremendous television because Kyle Keefe was at that game reporting in the arena. And he's like standing down there and he's like, guys, this isn't going to fit. They're like cutting the glass and pulling it out. And he's like, I'm telling you guys, this isn't going to fit. And then it obviously didn't. And then they had to go back in and like resize it on the fly. And he's like, well, I don't know, guys. That was, and that is the only thing we remember from that game.
Yep.
Like defines an entire Avs era of hockey.
Yep.
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's how Arizona may only remember how quickly that pane of glass was replaced about this game in a couple of years.
So I think Arizona will remember this because Nathan MacKinnon threw the helmet at Connor Garland.
Do we want
so much to get to in this game?
Yeah, I know. It's a little all over the place, but this game was a little all over the place, so it feels kind of appropriate. I mean, since we're on the topic, everyone expect just a fine for MacKinnon?
Yeah.
No suspension or anything crazy? Yeah.
There's no way. If McDavid only gets fined $5,000 with no game suspensions for basically trying to elbow a guy's teeth out of his face, this one I don't think is as bad. He was just giving his helmet back to him.
Look, there might be like an automatic rule where it's like you can't use your equipment in a certain way, and if you do, it's an automatic something or other. So that's the only thing that's keeping me from saying it should just be the $5,000 maximum allowable fine. Is that there might be some rule sitting in their rule book where they're like, you just can't truck gear at people. You can't throw your stick like a spear. You can't throw the helmet at the guy, even if you are just giving it back to him. Like, there might be some sort of an automatic rule written in there that's like, you can't do that.
What if he would have
to mention, this really drives home the insanity that was him getting the Lady Bing last year. I said last year that it was stupid because this was a guy who regularly like rage quit on a lot of things. And then people were like, yeah, but he doesn't take penalties. Or, oh, wow, he's just he's just mean to the media, so you're just salty about it. Like, Nathan MacKinnon's mean to me. And here we are, a year later, watching this guy. I think he got more penalty minutes in the last couple of minutes than he did all of last year. So, there that went.
I mean, yeah, I don't know really what to say about MacKinnon winning the Lady Bing. I think we all knew at the time it was nonsense, and MacKinnon has made a point this year of saying, I'm not going to win another one of those.
Yeah. He's like, heart or nothing. Don't make me come to this thing again if it's not for a real trophy.
There you go. He'll have to graciously decline the NHL awards. All right, more things going on right now. LA is going to beat Vegas. It's currently 4-2 with 20 seconds left, which means The Avs will be officially alone in the number 1 spot at the top of the West Division.
Well
it's
deserved.
a good night.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
The stretch now. So be stats watching, standings watching every night.
Yeah, all the way up through the next time the Avs and Vegas play, I think they're going to know what each other do on every single night. So it'll be a fun month or so. I think that's where we're at this point. Okay. All right. Yep. I guess we have to show this now. Yep. Hold on.
So Blaze, how's life? How's your face?
Oh, my face is great. Yeah, I posted that. That was from 3 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, we told people that it was from a long time ago, but I figured I would ask so you could tell the story.
Yeah, it was not fun.
This is what happened to Blaze's face, to be honest. The exact same type of thing right there.
That's great. Who did that?
I don't know. Someone at DNVR. Probably Michaela, I would assume.
I was going to say, it's got to be Michaela.
Shout outs to her.
That one needs to be used more than once.
So, yeah.
That's going to be I'm going to wake up every single Monday at 8 a.m. and just tweet that and say, Monday morning got me and then...
Perfect.
How much Denny's energy did that helmet toss have, AJ?
Oh, man. I don't know, man. Denny's is definitely for winners. So that's pretty good Denny's energy.
Oh man. Love to see it. Be sure to like and subscribe, as I see someone saying in the chat. Also, go subscribe to our main channel, please, which hopefully we'll have sorted out soon. Also, if you want to go yell at the NHL, I'm cool with that. Go tell them they tried to copyright claim something that doesn't exist. So that would help too, maybe. Who knows? Also, consider signing up for a DNVR membership to see all of our amazing content over on the site, whether it be AJ or Evan's writings. Of course, on YouTube, we have my videos. We have this podcast. You can also check out the series coming up starting this weekend on the Avs trade deadline. We have a bunch of videos we're going to be posting covering all of that, which one included Connor Garland, which I don't think is going to be happening after tonight, unfortunately. But, something tells me that he might not fit in this locker room anymore. I don't know what it could possibly be.
Yep, glad that video's already recorded. Yep, glad all the glowing conversation we had about how Connor Garland would fit in and make a lot of sense for the Avs is already done and ready to send out to the world. Because
you could just play the video and then play the highlights side by side.
Yeah, there you
That'd
go.
Be perfect.
Go cut this video of McKinnon throwing him an L into that video, and
we should. You've got to replace Garland's faces with ours now.
That would work. That would work quite well. Of course, this podcast is also sponsored by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. I think a lot of people feel like they need a beer after that game, whether it be Avs fans celebrating or Coyotes fans upset about things. You can also get yourself a Breck Brew Seltzer from their 15-can sampler pack, which are absolutely delicious. Highly recommend you check those out. Use the Breck Beer Locator online to find them at a local liquor store near you. And we are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the number 1 rated sportsbook app out there. Look, safest bet in the NHL right now, Avalanche games over. Because a lot of goals are going in Avalanche games. That's all I'm saying.
You would have felt good about yourself after the first half of the first period that you were going to hit tonight if you went over.
You hit, yeah.
You
hit over 9 minutes into this hockey game, I'm pretty sure. So
I'm on easy street for the rest of the game.
There you go. head on over there. You can use code DNVR when you sign up to get a bunch of amazing odds boosts, whatever sport you bet on. But they do have a special offer going on right now where you can bet on any game left in March Madness. There's only a couple more to go, but you bet on any team. If they win, you can turn $1 into $100 when you sign up with a new account and use code DNVR to let them know that we sent you. So jump on that today. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use that promo code DNVR to get your $1 to $100 opportunity for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Rudo, AJ, Blaze coming at you.
So Altitude is showing Joonas Donskoi's interview right now, his post game. And I just want to freeze frame it because I want to freeze frame it and I want to make it a new Free Skate Friday game for us called Did They Win or Lose? Because Donskoi is literally just sitting in the chair going, waiting for somebody to ask him a question, and you're like, bro, you just had a 4-point night. Like,
he's even keeled.
Any energy at all? Any energy at all? Like, we know that he and his wife just announced their first pregnancy about a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe.
I tweeted that the other night. Like, all right, of course she's pregnant because Donskoi don't miss this year.
we understand the guy is full of big bonk energy, but he's had a 4.9. You'd have no idea.
Do you think he used that same face when his wife told him that she was pregnant? He just kind of sat there, just like.
Yes, that's exactly what he was doing.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Colorado Sports Review asks, "Hey AJ, why is the Avs goal horn so flat and quiet this year?" I don't think we have a real answer for you. If I were to speculate, I would assume it's because it comes out of the same sound system that the crowd noise comes out of.
Yeah, it's not the action. It's like a recording.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our guess at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything worked for the Avs in this game, at least offensively, right? Like, you got multiple goals out of Burakovsky, obviously the Donskoi hat trick, goals out of Landeskog, a goal out of Rantanen, the only guy who didn't score a goal seemingly, or at least, Joe scored the other night, so he doesn't count. McKinnon, the only one to not actually put one in the net, but still got his points before getting thrown out of the game, essentially. Belmar scored too. Why not? There are 9 of them in here. It's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah, Belmar's goal was nice too. Up over the shoulder there, right? Isn't that the one that he scored there?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Back before the Avs had 7 goals.
Can we just appreciate for a second that Michael Bunting might have accomplished the reverse Brett Lebda tonight? In a 9-3 loss, he went +2.
Good on him.
You can choose your moments to be on the ice.
Yeah, 2 points as well. Good for him. What in the world?
He's in the locker room just like, yeah, I'm +2, guys. +2.
Can a brother get some help around here?
Yeah. I'll just put this whole team on my back. What's going on here?
No one was minus on the Avs. A couple was only Brandon Saad. Brandon Saad, the only one that was even.
It's confirmed. Michael Bunting is no Greg Jennings. Despite his best effort. That super chat is actually good to know.
Yeah.
That's actually great. I'm glad. I appreciate you going and looking that up. That it's genuinely hilarious that's in there. That they have a rule written, like, that somebody had to have pulled some shit once upon a time for them to include in the rule book. There's nothing automatic for throwing equipment.
I wonder how that conversation goes in like NHL headquarters. Like, hey Gary, McKinnon threw some guy's helmet. Should we suspend him?
I think it needs to be a little bit more specific though, too, right? Because like a glove being thrown, okay, fine, it hits you in the face. You're like, yeah, that's fine. Now a helmet, on the other hand, that's plastic, that's got some surface air to it, that's going to hurt. Gets you up in the face. A skate.
Yeah. Could really hurt someone with a skate, for sure.
Yeah. Oh.
Which, God, that happened in this game, too. Joonas Donskoi's skate broke off. This game was insane.
It looks like the blade popped out.
Yeah, he like kicked the skate with his skate blade and it just popped it right out. Like, this game had everything, man. I don't know. I don't know what it lacked at this point. Avs defense. Do we have any thoughts particularly? I know Cale Makar,
played better.
Played better, but a little bit up and down at the same time.
Yeah. I just didn't think they were very good. And because it's Arizona, and look, Arizona, I don't get Arizona. And some of this is because I have watched all of the Arizona Avalanche games, and the Avalanche, like Arizona, is lucky to have pulled points out of Avs games this year. Like, to be honest with you, they won a game in regulation, the weird deflection game where all 3 goals go off Avs players, right? They've had a couple of overtimes. Like, they've been lucky to pull points. The Avs have absolutely housed this season series with these guys. And they, like, it's a couple games in a row now where I think Colorado's defense just hadn't been great.
Yeah.
And I know they outshot Anaheim 2 days ago, like 48-15 or something. But there were some leaks there, and then obviously, like the Vegas game, there were problems in that second game. So we're on a small streak here where I think that the defense could be playing quite a bit better. It's a nitpick. Like, let's be real. This is a nitpick in a game where you win 9-3.
100%. You don't care how many breakaways you give up when the score's 9-3. Like, I mean, for sure.
Yeah. There's like small positioning things that you saw. There was that I don't know if it was the second goal. It was Ekman Larsson's goal where the pass came up the middle of the ice and the guy was kind of cutting across the blue line there.
That was
Makar was
first goal.
Was that the first one?
Yeah.
I mean, Graves needs to drop underneath basically and Makar there to kind of give him coverage, and he was standing up there waiting for the guy to run into him and just got smoked.
I mean, Makar is like, he's skating with this guy.
Yeah. And the puck takes a bounce and it takes a funky bounce and he loses it.
Just trust Makar to skate with a guy.
And
Sure, but I mean, again, like that second guy, your second defenseman, supposed to drop below there, just to kind of cover that, just in case that type of stuff happens. Well, but yeah, it's all nitpicky stuff at this point.
It is nitpicky, but since we're in the conversation, we saw that play happen like 4 times in this game, and 3 of the times Makar's just a god tier skater, gets back and pokes the puck away, so it's not a problem. But the one time he doesn't get back, it results in a goal the other way.
Yeah.
It is what it is. The defense could be better since, look, we're trying to do our best to at least say the Avs didn't play a perfect game, but
I'm not putting this first goal on Ryan Graves. I'm watching this again, and there's just no way I'm putting this on. No, I'm not, man, because he's got a guy. His assignment is the guy along the wall. The puck comes up there, and it bounces through Graves, and Makar just gets beat outside. I'm not putting that on Ryan Graves. And I know that I'm going to be I've now switched over into being
the defender.
a little more defensive of Graves than I previously was, because I feel like now at this point it's gone too far where now everything is his fault. And that frustrates me. So now I'm just like sensitive to the criticism, but I'm definitely not putting that one. After watching that replay again, I'm not putting that one on him. I think Makar just gets beat. He loses his guy.
I don't even think Makar gets beat necessarily is the correct terminology. I'm going to show you one still frame here.
That's fair. Like, I mean, it's a funny bounce that gets through like 3 people in the neutral zone.
This is Makar's head. Like, the puck has bounced here, and Makar's head is looking this way, and he thinks the puck has gone this way, and the bounce just went the other way. So
he shouldn't, because the puck is on his left side the entire time.
Yeah. Can you rewind it just a little bit, like the pass coming up?
I could, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
we're
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to give the NHL something to drop a hammer on us for?
What happened when I was gone?
Nothing. The sad part is, man, is nothing.
Nothing
happened.
happened.
Somebody messaged me today and was like, "So what's the story with this?" And I was like, "Dude, there isn't one."
All right.
We wrote a headline for a show that we were going to do after a game finished, and a bot picked it up, banned everything. We don't even have it.
Here, like this is what happened. We scheduled a live show. That means there was no content. There is nothing that is copyrightable. And a bot on YouTube for the NHL gave us a copy strike based on the scheduled event that hadn't started yet. And because of the copy strike, until that gets lifted, we're not allowed to stream on our main YouTube channel.
Crazy.
And we don't know. We're trying to get in contact with people, but YouTube is notoriously terrible about this type of thing.
Yeah.
And the NHL hasn't gotten back to us yet. So
yeah, we got some guidance from a guy today. Hit us up and was like, "Oh, hey, something similar happened to a friend of mine," and they worked it out with these guys, and he was like, "We were able to get it sorted out in 10 months," and I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
I like
10 months.
Yeah, I like the comments here. It's the jorts. It's Rudo's jorts.
Well, they're gonna have to ban this channel too because they're coming back Saturday. Like,
can we?
Why are they? Yeah,
a thing I think I actually do kind of want to talk about here. Would you have put Joonas Johansson in this game after the first period?
If it was 5-1, yes. When they made it 5-2, I see the decision not to.
After the first,
go ahead.
Maybe after the second. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say like you ride it out, and then maybe after the second, if the score's still kind of separated out enough, you then throw them in for that third.
Okay. I just thought.
How about
when it got to 5-1, I was like, put him in, dude. Like, put him in now. Don't wait. And then, of course, they decided the penalty parade. It was a good time for that shit.
What a mess that was.
And it was just like, oh, this is a hook on Tyson Jost. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I see more egregious hooking offenses going to the bar. And
AJ, are you whining right now?
So we'll talk because this was a blowout. We'll briefly touch on this. So I've been battling really bad migraine all day. And there was no way I was going to be able to drive down to the game tonight. It was my assignment. I was supposed to be at Ball Arena tonight to cover the game. I was not able to do that because of the migraine. When I have migraines, I get really severe ones. So I got really high. I got really high today, and that was the only way I was able to get out of bed and write about Alex Newhook, and then watch the game, and then be here right now. And normally the stuff that I got on Twitter is stuff that I kick off to the side, ignore, block, whatever. It's irrelevant, right? But I was really high, and I just decided I was just going to fight people with names like Rogue Sasquatch and something about a potato.
Potato bagel.
That was it. Potato bagel or bagel potato. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. I was just really high, and I just decided that I was like, whatever. The Savs game isn't doing anything for me. I started kind of feeling like the dog in the art picture behind Blaze's head right there, where I was just like, it's very sunny.
What is the vibe of that dog in that art picture?
Yeah,
that's Scott Ski. Excuse me, Scott C. He's an artist. That's the God dog. You can't see it, but there's a bunch of little dogs around it as well.
Okay, great news.
It's art. I don't know what to call it. Art picture thing. I don't know, man. Anyway, I was high, and so I just decided to kind of get after it on Twitter because nothing was happening in the game. And I don't really like when people call me whiny. It's just not a nice thing to say. So, it is what it is. To be honest with you, I'm about ready to pop another gummy. It's just being a day right now.
What? How whiny was John Hayden? Is that his name? Did I get that correct? At
Yeah.
the end of the first period.
Yo, what was that? I wish I'd been in the arena for that because talk about I don't know, he and Miko have the briefest of physical confrontations.
Yeah.
And then Miko says something, and then it was just what the this is, and again, not understanding the refereeing in this game, how that guy gets a 2-minute penalty. And Miko gets nothing. I just
I was shocked too when the Avs came out on the power play to start the second. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah, I was I just got drilled by a dude with a picture of a Sasquatch on Twitter for being whiny and ruining the reputation of every Avs fan on the internet, which is a lot of responsibility to put on me, by the way. I really, really don't love that I wield that kind of power so poorly, apparently. But also that, I didn't know what was going on. And they just roll out into the start of the second period, and they're like, yeah, they're on a power play. And I was like, cool.
Okay.
Love the transparency of this officiating. I definitely know what's happening. I feel like I've never been more of the voice of Avs fans than I was 4 minutes ago when I was like, I just got high.
How many gummies did Dr. Dubs prescribe you today? Apparently
as many as it took, bro. As many as it took. Let me tell you, when I woke up today, I was in tears because I get crippling migraines.
Yeah.
And it's like any light. And as you can see behind me, I also got high and decided to fix some lights in my room. So those are now fixed. They're different colors. They're different shades of yellow and white, which I don't understand. I bought the same light bulbs and they're different colors. But I was just like, whatever. One of them's yellow, one of them's white. It's whatever. It's been a really weird day.
I'm dying. This is peak content right here.
I knew I shouldn't have done the pod.
Oh, you have to do the pod because we're almost a second intermission.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, this is what happens to this podcast when the Avs beat a team 9-3 and are on a 12-game point streak.
We've talked about this in previous weeks, and unfortunately, that's certainly not the correct word, but it's unfortunately for good podcast content, Jesus, this is getting worse. It's hard to talk about absolute ass kickings. The Avs are 10-0-2 in their last 12.
Yep.
They have absolutely done everything imaginable that you could ask for them. They won 12 of 17 games in March. They still don't have a losing record to any team in their division. In fact, the only team that they don't have a winning record against at this point is the Blues, because they're only 1-1 against them, and 6 of the next 13 games that the Avs play are against St. Louis. I would also like to say that you should doubt every number I have just given you.
I think
just to throw some more numbers at you, 10-0-2 in their last 12. 8 of those games, they've won by 3 goals or more.
Well, do you remember not that long ago when not Vegas, the other one, Minnesota and Colorado went into their series against each other?
Yep.
And their records were almost identical, and their goal differential, everything was almost identical. The goals scored and the goals against and the goal differential were almost identical, if not identical, when they went into the Minnesota series, which wasn't that long ago. Fast forward to today, Minnesota like they're hanging around, right? They're doing fine. They're pretty comfortably in third place, but they are now 30 goals behind the Avs in goals for. Have given up 2 more goals than the Avs, and their goal differential of plus 15 is very respectable, but not quite.
The
Not
Avs.
quite Colorado's plus 47 goal differential that they're sitting on right now.
Amazing.
Which, in case anybody is curious, is the highest in the NHL and is the only one that's plus 40. The only team that's close to them is Tampa Bay at plus 39. Otherwise, there is not a single other team that's even plus 30. The Avs are almost at plus 50 in goal differential. So, the beginning of the year, when we were talking about how the division wasn't going to be very good and the Avs could definitely eat greedy against all these scrubbos, it's more extreme than we expected. Also, the Avs are better than I expected.
Which is saying something.
This is the best team in hockey. I thought that they were for sure like top 5. But right now they just look so good.
Yeah.
Blowouts start to count when every game's a blowout. I don't know what to tell you. That's it's just the way it is.
Dude, so Joonas Donskoi, what the hell?
Oh my god, that dude cannot miss.
I don't
fire. Hat trick in 7 minutes and 31 seconds into the game. He scored a hat trick.
That's 7. That's
ridiculous.
How long was it from first goal to third goal? Like 3.5 minutes?
3 minutes and 27 seconds. Yep.
Dude, let me tell you. If you have a 3 minutes and 27 seconds problem, you should definitely raise your dongers and make sure that thing is looking squeaky clean. Because that's where you go to manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off with free shipping with the code DNVR. They've got lawnmowers. They've got adorable little fragrances. They've got mints. They've got you covered when you are trying to correct your 3 minutes and 27 second problem. Okay? They have you covered head to toe. All right? Head to toe. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code DNVR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
I feel like I've just been bamboozled because AJ did the read. I didn't see it coming.
Dude, that read has my donger raised.
Raise your dongers.
Let's go. Somebody splash him like they splashed Donskoi for the hat trick. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Not game related, but it would go without mention that Alex Newhook did sign his contract with the Colorado Avalanche today. He will report to the Colorado Eagles, as is expected, but the year is burned at this point on the contract, so maybe there's a universe where Alex Newhook plays in the NHL this year?
I hope not.
So, well, and it's oddly enough like the perfect conversation right now. Logan O'Connor does not play the final 2 periods of the game today.
Yep.
You're assuming that it was probably not because he was bored.
Given his role on the team, he's not the guy they're going to rest, I imagine.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so if Logan O'Connor's hurt and Matt Calvert's hurt, where do you go? What's the conversation? I mean, the obvious answer is Liam O'Brien, I think.
Oh my God, please don't. I don't want to have this conversation.
But like like, come on. They gave him the ELC for a reason. Now they have the injury that they need to bring him up. And hey, he's got what, like 17 games with the Caps or something? Like, I'm sure Cassie could tell us all about it. So she's hanging around. I see her in chat. So with Liam O'Brien, it's just a matter of finding the excuse. Well, the excuse is there because you're not gonna put Alex Newhook in that role.
I actually agree. You don't put Alex Newhook there.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's a fourth line role. You're not going to play a ton of minutes. It's not going to play into any of the strengths that Alex Newhook would have. But, and I'll say this once and we can move on if we don't want to talk about it. Martin Kaut is right there, dude. He's right there.
He's been playing great, too.
Yeah, exactly my point. I don't know. After that ad read, I think it's AJ No Shamefully. But, you know. Anyway, my point being, the Avs have options that are probably ahead of Liam O'Brien. Now,
yeah, I mean,
Liam, see it that way is a different story.
The conversation is like, we're afraid of Liam O'Brien, Sheldon Dries, TJ Tynan. Who's another one that I'm forgetting? Jason Megna.
Yep.
Those are the guys where you're just like, God, kill me. We don't need to see this shit again. These guys are scrubs. We know that they're scrubs. It's great that you have them down there in the AHL so that the Eagles are good and competitive and continue to make the playoffs every year. I'm with that. I'm fine with that. I would rather see them call up Jean-Luc Foudy, which, P.S., before you ask, no, they cannot do. He does not have a contract. They cannot do that. But if they wanted to, I mean, I would take that.
You never know. There's gems there. Look at McDonald.
I mean, this is what sucks is that it feels like the success of McDonald and Graves
is going to trick them into this again.
Makes them think like, what, another 30 games of Sheldon Drives? Unlock that potential? Like, we know Sheldon Drives sucks. Come on. Stop it. Martin Kaut has been awesome for you. Martin Kaut was good for you in 9 NHL games last year. You bent over backwards to protect his ELC. Why? If you're not going to play him, why did you do that? I understood when he was hurt. It was like, damn it. That's terrible luck. He is no longer hurt. You just play him.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing for me is like, all right, he got healthy. And then the dude rolled up into Loveland and just said, this league is weak. I am better than the AHL. He's got 8 points in 7 games, I think it is now. And the dude's ready for the NHL. I don't know how else to put it. But
well, and especially like it's like, okay, like it's a wing, it's a guy that's got a couple of games, but there's also an upside there. Like we've talked about this, and what makes this so frustrating is that with Sheldon Dries, your best case scenario is didn't take a penalty, didn't screw anything up, maybe chips in a point, like a random point here or there. Same thing with any of those guys, Sheldon Dries, Megna, Tynan, whatever. Call it replacement player X if you want, because that's all those guys are. But with Kaut, it's like you're looking at this guy for a job next year too. Not just this year. There's a future that you have. Otherwise, again, why did you protect the ELC the way that you did? What the F are you using it for? To just sit? You're not paying him. Like, you're going to keep paying him $800,000 to be an AHL player? What are we doing here? Just bring him up and drop him into a job that he has clearly earned.
Of all of the options that aren't Martin Kaut that could fill this spot if LOC does miss time, tangibly, what can you say any of them would do better than Martin Kaut? And realistically, maybe Liam O'Brien can punch people's faces better is the only thing I can come up with.
So the one thing that I would say about Kaut is that if you're making the 1-to-1 replacement, him against O'Connor or Calvert, he doesn't have the skating of those guys.
Sure.
He's not going to bring that same straight line speed, that dynamic element of moving fast. It's not like he's a bad skater. It's just he doesn't have that element like those guys do. So it's a more deliberate process for that line because they're not getting up and down the ice as quickly. It's a more cerebral process, but what he does well, he's good along the wall. He's got good size. He's smart. He's effective. All of that is stuff that's good. You want to see all that. That works on your fourth line. Perfect.
I don't know.
I mean, he's defensively sound. Like he's like you were saying, AJ. He's smart. He knows where to go. They know how to layer him in and everything. So he's not going to get exposed out there.
Yeah. Straight up.
All right. This podcast is also sponsored by Gabby Insurance, GABI. You can head to gabby.com/DNVR to check how much you can save on insurance. The average person saves $961 a year by checking their auto and home insurance through Gabby. You can save yourself a ton of money. Highly recommend you check it out. Blaze, have you checked it out yet? Have you done? I imagine you didn't do as bad as your D-line partner there.
I haven't checked it out yet. I need to do it though.
All right. Well, maybe we can still get a new high water mark after Eric's $1,600 in savings.
That sounds about right for Eric. So yeah.
So you can save a ton of money with Gabby. They just want to find the best deal for you, even if it's not necessarily through them. They're free to check, and they don't sell any of your info, so it's perfectly safe to do so as well. And we are also brought to you by Strava Craft Coffee, the CBD-infused coffee that has really changed lives. If maybe gummies aren't for you, like someone over here, I don't know how to point that way on camera.
He means me.
You can get Strava Craft Coffee and try that way. It's known to help many aches and pains, including things like migraines, IBS, and joint pain. You can get it for 20% off when you use code DNVR20 at StravaCraftCoffee.com. And if you're a second-time buyer, you can get 25% off with code DNVR25. So check it out today and give it a try. All right. So moving on through the rest of today, I guess. I don't know. Look, the Avs murdered an NHL hockey team on the ice tonight. And McKinnon threw Garland his helmet back, and, in the proverbial sense, like Connor Garland's head was in that helmet based on the score on the scoreboard, all right? This was a gladiatorial slaying of the Avs opponents. Do we have final thoughts, or are there other things y'all wanted to touch on in this hockey game?
I would just like to also add, I forgot Kiefer Sherwood existed.
He sure does.
He's looked good. I would be fine if they brought him up just because he has actually looked good.
I mean, given that he's actually on the taxi squad, that's probably the move that they'll do. But, let me dream on Cout at least.
Also, if they wanted a fast guy, Shane Bowers is also right there. But anyway.
I think we all already know that's not happening. So.
Yeah. I was just saying.
Got to get it in.
Yo, Philip Grubauer had an off night and had a .903 save percentage.
Wild.
That's fun.
He faced 30 shots?
Yeah.
31 shots.
31
He
shots.
also had a 0% save percentage for the first 12 minutes of the game. So that's
kind of like playing Jonas Johansson after all.
Yeah. So I don't know. Expectations. Bednar said Johansson will play soon. I mean, the Avs
got a back-to-back,
right? So he's gonna play one of those.
He's gonna play the Ville Husso game, and we're definitely gonna see a 9-7 game.
Oh boy, more goals, more goals.
Yeah, Thatcher Demko got a 5x5 today.
Yep.
62 games played, and you're gonna give that guy a 5-year deal? I know that there were a lot of people who were like, Thatcher Demko's good, though. That's going to be a great deal, especially with his age and blah, 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 blah. Why would you trust the GM that has put you in cap hell just to miss the playoffs in that division to sign a long-term contract? Why would you do that? Why would you be like, that's a totally good deal? Wow, Jim, they must have totally changed their whole front office process and not let Jim Benning make that decision. That's his first name, right? I
Yeah.
said it and it just
You got
sounded
it right.
so weird.
No, you're correct.
It's like me thinking that Jordan Osterley's first name is Victor because I still do it. I keep calling him Victor and it's freaking me out mentally. Anyway, why would you trust that guy to make a long-term decision for you at any position? It's so I was like, I think that this has a chance to be a great deal, but I think after what happened with Martin Jones, I'm just afraid of goaltenders. Like Martin Jones, remember Martin Jones was a great backup in LA. He was like the next good starter. They were so worried about him that they traded him to Boston for a first-round pick because they were like, we don't want him. We don't want to deal with him. And then Boston was like, joke's on you. We traded him to San Jose. And now it's like the greatest thing that they could have done to sink San Jose's entire cup run. It's so weird to me. I don't know, but 62 starts at the most volatile position in all of sports. And you're just like,
for reference, Thatcher Demko had a 905 in 27 games last year and has a 917 in 25 games last year.
Totally respectable pro stats, like NHL. Like not saying he's not any good NHL goalie or anything.
But my point is, for comparison, when the Avs traded for Philip Grubauer and signed him to his current deal, he had just posted a 923 in 35 games.
Well, and didn't he already have 100 games played?
Yeah, and the year before, he posted a 926 in 24 games. So, at time of signing, Philip Grubauer was a significantly better goalie than Thatcher Demko is at this time of his signing. And the Avs got Grubauer for cheaper. Yes, it's only a 3-year deal, but you're making a bold claim about what Thatcher Demko is in the future by signing him to a contract like that.
I mean, any goalie really might as well just like flip a coin each year to see if they're going to be good or not that year. It's crazy how streaky goalies can be.
Well, and going back to the Martin Jones thing, what Ryan says isn't true. Martin Jones signed that contract a year before it started. He posted 3 straight years, and he had a 918, a 912, and a 915. As a guy that was playing 60 games this season. In the postseason, he had a 923, a 935, and a 928. It was year one of that contract that he fell apart for seemingly no reason.
Yep.
He totally fell apart, and it's just like, what you doing?
And there was never any bounce back for Jones either. And that's the real scary thing when you give a goalie term.
Yeah. Well, and Carter Hart, I mean, Philly's the greatest thing that's happened for Philly right now is that Carter Hart hadn't gotten paid yet.
He has not been good this year.
Right. And like for some reason, St. Louis thought Jordan Binnington consistently getting a little bit worse all the time was the time to pay him.
Was worth a 6x6, yeah.
So it's like there's one Andrei Vasilevsky in the league. Even you look at John Gibson. John Gibson has really struggled in the last year and a half.
Yep.
And a lot of people are, but bad teams and, blah, 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 blah. Sure, but part of those bad teams is the goaltending. Like, you think if Martin Jones was playing at a 917 clip, the Sharks would be in last place? Of course not. Like, when you get good goaltending, you win games.
What is this voice? I love this voice.
I'm just saying. All of this is setting up for them to do something incredibly irresponsible with Philip Grubauer that makes me light myself on fire. And it will be totally justifiable if this shit continues. If the guy wins the Vezina Trophy and they win a Stanley Cup, you don't just let that guy go in free agency.
No.
Is anything irresponsible if you won the cup? Like, really?
Yes. Because with this look, with the signing of Alex Newhook, this is officially it. All of Colorado's big guns are in pro hockey now. All of their top prospects are in pro hockey now. The only ones that you're like, well, they're still on the way. It's what, like Justin Barron?
Yeah, that'd be the
And
highest
he's
drafted
like
kid.
he's like the 6th or 7th best Avs prospect right now, depending on how you feel about some of these other guys. So it's like this is kind of it. Like this is they have like kicked open the door to Stanley Cup contention. They're obviously there right now, but with Byram, with Alex Newhook, I mean, even if we want to lie to ourselves and be excited still about Kaut and Bowers and all these guys, like Connor Timmins, like there's still a whole wave of young guys that are right there. It's no longer like, well, in 2 or 3 years, like these guys are right there. They're knocking on that door. They're right on the precipice for it. And why Rudo and I have said in the past a few times, like, the Avs are going to be really good this year. There's a real chance that they're much better in 2 or 3 years when all these guys are in their primes.
Yep.
But they could undo all of that if they make dumb decisions in net. All of it gets undone. Again, look at the San Jose Sharks. They're good players on that team. You look at that top 6 and you're like, Jesus, that is still a quality top 6 over there. Bad decisions in net. And bad, I mean, like signing Brent Burns and Vlasic and Carlson for $1 billion, like bad decisions in net and defense really sank them. But it started with the bad decision in net.
That defense was good a couple years ago.
Yeah. I mean, Marc-Edouard Vlasic was one of the best defensive defensemen of his generation.
Yep.
And then it was like he turned 29 and was like, well, I'm shitty now. What do you know? And it just never got better. So, like...
Yep, I do know. That's exactly how I would put it. Yep.
That's the fear. And of course, like all those guys are 28, 29, 30. All of Colorado's guys are in the mid or younger 20s. So that's a huge... They have a huge opportunity to be the NHL franchise over the next 5 years. And with Newhook and Byram, all these guys in pro hockey, like, that's what this is about, man. That's it. Today was exciting, and it was a reminder of everybody that even if you even try and push back on them a little bit, as soon as the Avs start to give a shit again, they can drop you. Especially if you suck like Arizona does. So, I don't know, man.
Blaze, you got any?
I ran out of thoughts
that can live up to that hype.
No, I'm not even going to start. We're not going down the rabbit hole here.
They should be amazing over the next year. They should be amazing over the next 2 or 3 years. But a bad decision with a goaltender contract can just undo all of it. And they've got to be careful. Now, I mean, if Thatcher Demko works out great for the Canucks, then that's a huge steal for them. And life is grand.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping for when you give a deal like that. But
I mean, you're looking at, like, realistically with Grubauer, you're looking at like a 6x6.
Yep.
As kind of a starting point. That's where Markstrom, that's where Binnington all signed with very comparable numbers. Martin Jones at, I think, 5.75 a couple of years ago. Very, very comparable numbers. Now, obviously, if he wins the Vezina and they win a Stanley Cup and all that, then it's like probably at like 7 or 7.5. And at that point, the Avs just have to be like, well, you priced yourself.
Hopefully he doesn't say, "Hey, I'm shitty now."
Well, I mean, if you get paid and you win a Stanley Cup and you win a Vezina, where's the motivation go? He's going to sign the biggest contract of his life and he'll be good.
Yeah.
And so he could say, "Hey, I'm shitty now." He could say, "Hey, I'm trying super hard to not be shitty. I'm a goaltender and I make no sense. I can't help it. Why did I just get scored on halfway through this sentence?" Like, goalies don't make any sense, man.
A live reenactment of Aiden Hill.
Please, that poor guy though. He didn't do anything wrong. Like
he did some things wrong.
Like Burakovsky just like snipes on the guy, and he's like, "Well, I mean that happens to a lot of guys, right? Why are you pulling me? This isn't my fault."
Maybe with a Manscaped, you can last as long as Aiden Hill instead of the 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
No, look,
bump it up to 7.5 minutes.
Look, even with Manscaped, Aiden Hill, 6 minutes and 4 seconds. That's still a problem, Aiden Hill. That's not good enough. Had he gone to manscaped.com and used the DNVR promo code for 20% off, he might have lasted 7, maybe even 8 minutes.
Instead, he hit the showers early.
He didn't have to take a shower. He didn't get going hard enough.
They give him cab fare on the way out, or what?
Dude.
He was smoking a cigarette.
Okay. We're over an hour of this nonsense now, so we gotta wrap this thing up. But thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, however you consume this podcast. We really appreciate all y'all out there listening to us. It's always a load of fun. Hope y'all enjoyed this show. All the super chats especially, very appreciated. Thank you very much to you guys. Like and subscribe to the video. If you really like us, go to our main channel and subscribe over there as well, because hopefully we'll be back live streaming from that channel, and all of our recorded videos are still getting posted to that channel as well. So yeah, go over there. Send us some love. Hope y'all had an amazing day, and we will talk to you guys again about something tomorrow.